Hello, Scruffy Politics here. I'm Steve, out near the Chicagoland area. There's Brett, Stimpy in Michigan, and we will talk about the tariffs and how I think Trump manipulated the market. Uh, Brett might disagree with me. However, yesterday was a very interesting day with the tariffs, and then um, uh, pausing some tariffs, and then market manipulation, and how Marjorie Taylor Greene all of a sudden got richer, and some of Trump's friends got like $900 million richer and $1 billion richer, and Trump was gloating about it. However, now, there's people who are losing money in their 401ks. There's middle class families struggling to buy food at the grocery store. And here's Trump. He's so happy about, how his rich friends made more money.
Well, I agree with you. One thing that's very negative about this is there are retail investors, unfortunately, elderly people who are retired and their value has gone down. And if people panic and they sell, then they could realize a loss. That's the worst thing you could do, especially after it's dropped, for a week straight. And not everyone is savvy when it comes to investing. I certainly wasn't. I didn't start paying attention until probably 2008. The market crash of 2008 is when I started really trying to learn a little bit about it. And and as far as but the one thing hopefully people would do, and I think that a lot of the media is doing a disservice to people because I don't think they're explaining it properly. People are kind of going crazy over this, and I get that Trump introduced this craziness, but the market fundamentals of the economy are solid. So the only reason the stock market was dipping is because of this tariff news. So there was no reason to sell in a panic. It's unfortunate, I think. I do agree with anybody who points that out. Now, as far as Trump manipulating the market for his friends, I think all of his friends have plenty of money. I don't think that he went to the presidency and he did this tariff thing just to put a couple extra billion on top of the billions they already have in their pocket. I think that Trump, in my mind, deserves credit for being probably the first American in 50 years to actually stand up on trade policy and say, hey, you know what? All we're asking for is fairness, and I don't understand why people act like that's radical. If Japan is allowed to sell cars in the United States since 1970, why can't we sell our cars in Japan? That just sounds so simple. It's fair. It's fair, but they don't let us. And I thank President Trump for standing up and saying something about it.
I don't think no. Trump is not doing this for America and for the common folk. He's doing it to enrich himself, his rich friends. The rich always love getting richer. Of course. Hell.
Why? But I don't understand that. Why? So if Trump
was rich, if I was rich, I knew investments like this, I'd be all happy about this, But so Trump is gloating about how his rich friends get richer yesterday. Oh, you made this much and you made this much, ha ha ha. While the economy is crap right now, he's not doing anything for the American middle class family. People living paycheck to paycheck, and those people who live paycheck to paycheck who are Trump supporters, the joke is on you, okay? The joke is on you. At least the rich people, they already know that they're benefiting, but they know that the paycheck to paycheck people, they're laughing at you, and the joke is on you. For anyone who lives paycheck to paycheck who voted for Donald Trump, the joke is on you.
It's actually not on them, because if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you don't own stocks. You probably don't have a job that has a 401k. You're probably working at McDonald's or Taco Bell. So those people don't own stocks. Well, they didn't lose anything with this market going down. In fact, 50% of Americans are not even in the stock market. They have nothing to do with it. So typically the profile of somebody that is in the stock market is a middle-class person, typically educated. Maybe they have a decent job somewhere, and they have a 401k program. or if they're doing better than that, then maybe they get into being what they call a retail investor, which is what I would be considered, just because I self-direct my IRA. But yeah, so unfortunately, the poorest of the poor that Trump says he's doing this for, they didn't lose any money. In fact, actually, if you hear what they're saying, they have actually said a couple of times, they've made the comment, Wall Street has done well for the last 30 years. Now it's time for Main Street. So actually what they're saying is we're less concerned with people that have money and assets maybe experiencing some short-term turbulence, because we're trying to do something to bring back jobs and opportunity for the lower 50% that are not involved in the stock market.
That that's not happening. If Trump was focused on the middle class or the lower class, I'm sorry, he'd be trying to do something about these egg prices that he first blamed Joe Biden for, and now it's bird flu, and but with and with these tariffs, everything will cost more for the average family. I know I'm spending less on the economy because things are more expensive. I'm not gonna, buy as many eggs now. No way. And so no, with these tariffs coming in that Trump is proposing, no, things will be more expensive, and it will be on those who struggle. It's not gonna affect his rich friends. It's not gonna affect him. I mean, so
Well, think about, so he's saying that he's trying to get jobs to come back here with different factory operations. So first of all, if someone has to build a factory in the United States, just think about all the tradespeople that you're employing. That's a lot of construction work. So that's the field I'm in, right? So, I mean, I can tell you just firsthand, I mean, that brings a lot of money and income to a community, because you've got the electricians out there working, the general contractors, the pipe fitters, the HVAC, plumbers, roofing people. So it's going to take a lot of tradespeople, local tradespeople, to build that building. And then once you've got the building up, then who are you going to employ to go in there and do those jobs? I mean, even if it's automated, I get the AI and automation is going to make it so the factories of the future will have a lot less people than they did in the 1950s, but you're still going to need Americans to be in those buildings. I mean, those robots don't run themselves. So you got to have somebody there to run the robots. And you've got to have all the other kinds of people. I mean, I'm in factories all the time with my work, and I see automation, and I see lots of human beings in there. So,
yeah. Well, with what Trump is saying, what he wants and what will happen, I don't see.
that's true. I agree with you there, because no one knows
guy
exactly how
who-
this is going to work out.
I mean, after
So-
someone tells so many lies, it's very hard to believe this guy who's in office, and sadly, many in America, not the majority, because the majority who voted, but there are a lot of people who did not vote. So I mean, sadly, the people who did vote, the majority of them did elect Trump.
Well, I will agree with you there. One reason this is causing a lot of chaos is because the people that voted for Trump, they did it for a couple of reasons. I mean, one was they said they wanted lower prices, like you said, just the everyday cost of living. I think another one was they said, hey, what's going on the border is insane. Okay, something's got to be done about it because it's just ridiculous. We see it every night on the news. And Trump did say that he was going to try to bring back American factories and he was going to do something with tariffs. I don't think people thought he was that serious, as serious as he was, and how far that he would take it. Now, the other thing that he did was he engaged in a lot of good cop, bad cop negotiation in this, and he doesn't tell people that he's going to do that. So actually what he did was he put forth the worst case scenario so that foreign countries would freak out. And they did. So what did they do? They were immediately like, well, I need to get in front of this, and I need to get in front of it before the other countries. So they immediately started calling and setting up appointments and beelining to the White House to say, hey, wait, I want my deal first. I want out of this. I don't want to have anything to do with all this crap that you're talking about.
So Trump, I heard Trump say yesterday on the clip. He said, "Oh, they're kissing my ass now. They're calling me. They want to make deals." That is not happening, because if that was happening, he would say who it is, and with his big mouth. He would say who it is and what they're saying.
Well, he
Okay,
did.
so this whole Trump. I'm sorry, he's not.
Well, this is what they've said.
You can't believe that he's actually doing this to bring factories and jobs to America. It's not who Trump is. It's
Well, they're doing a lot of different things, but actually what they're doing is, so they're saying that they've been contacted by 70 countries and they're prioritizing our biggest allies first. So they've named places like Japan and South Korea, and they're going to sit down. And basically what they're saying is it's going to take us time. That's why they're allowing the 3 months, because they're saying we're going to do completely individual tailored plans between us and that country. It's not going to be like a off the shelf solution, right? So there's going to be a lot of things that are on the table. So they said they're going to negotiate tariffs. They're going to negotiate trade barriers and restrictions. They're going to negotiate military presence. So there's all kinds of different things. So the best way to look at it is basically they're saying, hey, look, the agreements that we have in place between the United States and the world were set in 1950. It's time to redo them.
But
That's what we're doing. We're redoing them now.
okay, so if all that were true, then what is Trump doing on the golf course every single freaking day? He's golfed more in 4 years and these 2 months so far than Obama did in 8 years of presidency. I don't believe with all his golfing that he is really that serious about this. Heck, when there was a service for a fallen soldier, I think last week or something, he sent someone else to go to that ceremony while he had to golf for his some championship thing at his golf course that he was the champion of. Of course, he's the champion of it. But time has run up. Anything else, Brett? Quickly. There.
No, we can leave it there.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
Catch us on the next one.
Yes.
Be sure to like and subscribe and tell your friends about us.
Thank you.
Scruffy Politics. All right, bye.